Okay, hold on. I hit record, and as soon as I hit record, little mama, oof, started fussing. Like, hey, Theo, we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. They can see you right now on the camera. See? Yes, they can see you. Give me kisses. You're gonna sit on my. Oh, okay. What are we deciding we're gonna do? Do you know what you want to do? Come on. Come on. All right, we're gonna be on mom's lap. All right, we are tired, and I'm just gonna let you guys know right off the rip before we even get started. This will be my last time covering the Traitors. Quick pause, because if you love dark stories that don't flinch, Olympic War isn't a soft love story. It's violent, it's chosen, and it cost everything. Through war, betrayal, and survival, Moonstone fights for devotion that refuses to die. This is a Black, multicultural dystopian series about power, sacrifice, and what rises from the ashes. Olympic War and Phoenix War. Read them wherever books are sold. Indie authors are out here building worlds, breaking rules, and telling stories you won't find on the bestsellers list. And not only can indie authors do it just as good as published authors, but they can often do it better. On Indie Ink Podcast, we interview indie authors every month about their books, their process, and what keeps them going when no one's watching.
One of the best pieces of advice I received, once you start getting negative reviews, it means that your book is reaching outside of your target audience. And when she said that, I thought that was such a wonderful way to look at it.
Jean-Paul Sartre, he's French, with No Exit says that hell is other people. Like, to be in hell is to be like with other people. The thesis of this book, or like what I thought about when I thought about like what would be like the ultimate hell for me personally.
If you love stories behind the stories, this podcast is for you. Check out Indie Ink Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Hey, Unbothered fam, and welcome to another episode of Basically Unbothered Recapped. We are featuring little Theodora today as she wants to be a part of it, and we are at my room at my dad's house. I'm like rearranging things. We're at my room at my dad's house. I just came from a Michigan basketball game. It was a great game, by the way, if you guys were wondering. I love sports. I don't talk about it that much here, but I really, 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 truly love sports. And so being able to go to the game was fantastic and a lot of fun for me. And I'm very excited about that. I did have a test. It was a test to my anxiety. I think that my anxiety passed. Little Theo is leaving us. I think that my anxiety passed for the most part. I did have to use my loop earplugs. Let me just tell you guys, loop earplugs are the vibe. If you don't know, find a way to know, because they're the vibe. They're the vibe. They're the vibe. They're the vibe. I, as a person who struggles with anxiety, cannot say more about them, especially since my medication, my Buspar for anxiety, just got upped. And I've been rolling. I've been rolling through the trenches of trying to deal with this anxiety medication. It really takes my body a second to readjust to what's going on and everything like that. But when I finally do, it is definitely a lot better or whatever. I just don't. I'm over this. Anyways, that's kind of what's been going on with me. I'm lying. I didn't just finish watching The Traitors. I watched some of it. Okay, I have anxiety. I've said this so many times. You hear me talk about it. The reason why I watch shows over and over and over again is because I have anxiety. This show is not only triggering my anxiety, but it's triggering like my hatred for the world. And I don't think that that's good. I don't think that that's a good vibe for me. So we're going to talk about Traitors. I might watch the last episode. There are a lot of creators that will do a lot of things that are detrimental to themselves or go against what they believe just to get the fame or the glory or the whatever. That's not who I am. I have a lot of anxiety about people liking me, but at the end of the day, you either do or you don't. You either accept me or you don't. And one of my biggest things is integrity and morals. That's such a huge thing for me. And I cannot continue to talk about and promote a show that is literally showing the divide against color in America. And there's just so much of this show that's just so triggering. And especially watching white men go against Black women, and also just watching white men betraying women in general is such a triggering thing. And some of you may not get it. Some of you may never had that experience. And I love that for you. Like, truly, wholly do. But watching this show is not good for my mental state. And honestly, I don't think it's good for any women of color's mental state, period. It truly shows how little people trust women of color, how little people believe in women of color, and how all it does is take a little man's push suggestion for you to betray women of color. And the fact that I'm now looking at this show, and except for Natalie, it's very whitewashed. I'm not, and I want to be clear. I watch shows that may not have a diversity of color, but watching them slowly pick off these people was not it. We're going to get to that. First of all, honey child, I don't know what everybody has been doing in pop culture this past week, but there's been so many crazy things. Sydney Sweeney doing a lingerie brand. Sabrina Carpenter again getting snubbed for Grammys. Nicki Minaj backing the president. Hold on, what else do I have? I have a list of things that we need to talk about. Sydney Sweeney is on it. Are we okay? Are we well? We're getting into the Super Bowl. Is everyone all right? Do we need a hug? I don't know. All right, let's get into some things. I wholeheartedly plan on talking about the Nicki Minaj thing. I'm not going to let it slide. We are definitely going to talk about it on a bigger scale on Basically Unbothered, the episode that drops on Monday. Absolutely, for sure, without a question. That being said, though, you can find videos of me rapping Nicki Minaj songs. And I have stood by my statement that Nicki Minaj, as a female rapper, is not good in her own songs. I don't usually rap her own songs. I usually rap songs or parts that she has in other people's songs. She's always a lot better in other people's songs than she is in her own music. And that's because her own music was never really who she was. Nicki Minaj from the jump has not been a rapper that I have backed or supported ever. And I'm going on the record in saying that. And you can look at posts from years ago of me saying that. I thought that she was problematic from the beginning. I think that she will forever be problematic. And I think that her decision to jump ship and do this is just protecting herself. And you know what? Again, this is one of the reasons why I just can't watch Traitors anymore, because say what you want to say, Candace could have jumped on Rob's train. Candace could have went Rob, and she could have went to be white adjacent to protect herself. And that is not what she's done. That is not how she chose to go out. She chose to go out as her. And I will always love that. And if you think that, I think that this is my problem with it. If you think that survival means that you have to jump ship, that you have to betray your morals and your beliefs, then there's a severe problem going on here. And I don't want to be, I legitimately don't want to be a part of it. And so I'm going to leave the Nicki Minaj stuff for a more intellectual conversation. But I will say this. We have a culture of female rap stars, the big stars, having a very big thing in common, and that is their bodies. And it was very common that back in the day, and it's something that I hated back in the day, that women sacrificed their bodies and everything and had all these surgeries and things like that just to make it big in this industry. And when you are willing to sacrifice and give up everything that you are to succeed, that is going to be your downfall. And we're seeing it right now. And, whether or not Rob wins or doesn't win in Traitors, it's very clear to me that he's already reaching downfalls in his life. We're going to get to talk about Love Island, Beyond the Villa, because I watched that for you guys too. And I've also just been catching up on Love Island, and there are signs there. Anyways, we're going to sandwich with some happy news. Happy news. We have officially got The Devil Wears Prada 2 trailer. That is also going to be discussed more on Basically Unbothered, the episode that drops on Monday. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get to share this with you guys. And I was wondering, and they didn't give me, I've said this before, they didn't give me the answer that I wanted to know, which is how are we tying this all back in? How are they all coming back together? And I don't know yet, but I'm so excited to know. And not Miranda Presley, out Miranda Presley. It's the way in which I'm so excited for this movie to come out is just, it should be studied. It should be studied. I was, honestly, this is something that I don't normally say a lot, but I am going to say here. I liked it more than I liked the book. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But I am very excited. The first trailer that we got, it looks great. I feel like it's cruel to make us wait this long for it to come out, but I'm very excited about that. Okay. No, we're gonna talk about the Grammys. So the Grammys happened. People won. I told you this. One of the reasons why I don't cover award shows is just that it's such a politics game. It's such a game about who can suck up and who can kiss and who can do this and do that, that it's quite frustrating for me, honestly. And I feel that way about like awards, even in general. I don't mind having to submit yourself for an award, but the gift bags that have to be sent with them and all of the things that have to go with it. And it's just too much. I even look at, these are hurting me. I even look at like award shows that I've thought about or award things that I've thought about applying to. And the fact that it costs money, and I get it. Some people are like, well, it costs money to do all these things. Anything, this is my feeling. Anything that you have to pay for to submit yourself for means that you paid for your award. I think that true recognition and true accolades doesn't come from paying for it. If you are truly great at something, then people will see and people will notice. That's my personal opinion about it. I don't think that I don't think paying for someone to review your stuff is how it goes. And obviously people pay the same amount, but how do we really know? How do you really know that people are paying the same amount? You don't. So I don't know. We get into Grammy season, and one of the things that's really frustrating me is that obviously we all know that, or if you don't know, Sabrina Carpenter got snubbed. Now, Man's Best Friend wasn't my favorite one of her albums. Short and Sweet was great, and Short and Sweet deserved to win awards. And it got snubbed too. But people, I love that the commentary is now on her face that she made when Bad Bunny, who won, whoop whoop, shout out to Bad Bunny. But people were commenting, yeah, in one of the videos you can see her cry. That woman has done so much in her career. She literally has a Muppet show getting ready to release in the last year, to work so hard for this. She opened up the Grammys. And to me, the crazy part is if you tell me that I opened up you thought I was good enough to open up the biggest music award show night of the year, but you don't think that I'm deserving enough to get an award is just crazy to me. And I'm not going down a rabbit hole of who was in it and who is not. I'm just saying, from the optics alone, it's a little sus. It's a little sus to me. I'm gonna leave it at that. I am happy for some of the win. I am happy that Luther, even though Sheriff apparently said Luther Vandross, I'm happy that Luther won. I am happy. Oh God, am I happy that Wicked won and Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande got one. And it's funny because someone said like every time she's won a Grammy, she's not been there. And Queen. I'm so happy for her that it just makes me, I want her to win as many times as she can. And after they've been constantly ignored for the work, that's like the frustrating part. It's the work that went behind it. It's the work that is going on behind the scenes that people are ignoring. That's the part I'm the most frustrated about. But I am happy, beyond the moon for Wicked. I'm beyond the moon for Lady Gaga. I am beyond the moon for Bad Bunny. Billie Eilish, I saw someone say Billie Eilish looks constantly confused every time she wins, and they think that, is she that humble or is she just faking it? Some people really just make art to make art, and whether they think it's great or not, they don't assume that other people will think it's great. And I truly think that every single time that she wins, she is shocked, and she really does believe that other people deserve it more than her. And I love that for her. In this industry, while crazy things are going on, especially with this Epstein file stuff, I love people who stay true to themselves and stay grounded and keep that energy. That's something that's important. Whether you make it big or you don't, you have to stay who you are. I love podcasting, and if I could do this for the rest of my life, I would, as well as writing. But if I had to sell who I was to do it, it's just not going to be the vibe. I'm sorry. What else? Lola Young winning. Love that. Oh God, what is her name? The all that God can say don't know line, but come the other side. Come be the man I need. She's been getting a lot of hate on social media, and it's Olivia Dean. She won a Grammy, and she's been getting so much hate about her being like a soft Black girl. It's like, y'all just don't want us to win. Legitimately, y'all get mad when I call out behavior, but then when that behavior happens on the big screen, y'all just ignore it. Y'all do not want us to win. Just admit it. Just say it. Just admit it so we all can be more comfortable in the fact that you don't like us. We all would be better and easier if you could just admit that you don't like us. I am very happy for her. I've read a lot of the messages. I think another thing that they didn't like about her was that she admitted that her mom, she was the daughter of an immigrant. And that was kind of the big theme of the Grammys. A lot of people were talking about, daughter of an immigrant. What is it? There's no immigrants on stolen land. And that's something that I don't like to get into politics, but that's something I really feel we're fighting over land that doesn't even belong to us. And I saw some fucking man with the caucasity was like, oh, if Billie Eilish thinks this, then we're going to take her out of her home. And the funny part is Billie Eilish would probably be like, if my land, okay, great. Let me just go move somewhere. People are always trying so hard to prove a point without actually ever knowing what the fuck the point is. Like that, the weird part of people calling out ICE and calling out the egregious treatment of people in America right now, and how very close we are to making a worldwide, historical, catastrophic mistake. And their response is, we'll kick her out of her home. Not, they have a point. Maybe we should reevaluate that. Just simply, the solution must be that she has to leave. If she feels this way, she has to leave. And it's such a wild take. Guys, Canada already wants us. Canada already wants some of us. At this point, are we just being held hostage? Really? Are we just being held hostage? I love that the artist spent time to, I'm so amped up, so I'm sorry. I love that the artist spent time to call out what they see. A lot of people, they get so art isn't political. You don't know shit about art if you think that art isn't political. Art is one of the most political things that exist. Art is all about taking what you see in the world and replicating it how you see it, whether that is in films, whether that is in print, whether that is in photography, whether that is in paintings or drawings or sculptures, theater, anything like that. Rent is about how the spread of AIDS was taking out the homosexual community, the LGBTQIA community, and the stereotyping of that. Wicked is a highly political thing, political play. Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella, the adaptation where they had Brandy play Cinderella, has no color, like race color scheme whatsoever. A white man and a Black woman have an Asian son. It was meant to make a statement about like how it doesn't matter, and that is not the purpose. And being in theater and film is all of that. Killers of the Flower Moon. There's so many instances, whether it's blatantly in your face or not blatantly you say. Even Marvel comments, X-Men is such a big statement about politics. And for people to get mad and say, you need to take politics out of art. Politics belong in art. Art is always going to be the thing that looks and examines its politics. Ironically, one of the movies you guys love that you love to quote is Scarface. The original Scarface, not the one with Al Pacino, the original Scarface that was in like 1960s, was about calling out the police for them ignoring the gangs that were running the streets. Art is political. And I loved seeing the clips of the winners calling them out and saying their piece and standing up for the people, because in the art community that has always been a thing. They have always been accepting. There's Sophia Bush talks about it, how she grew up with that around her family, and how she always grew up with difference of people and learning to accept people as they are, and how that is inherently ingrained in art. Which leads me to my next topic, which is Sydney Sweeney. Man, her PR team is working overtime. Because she's just giving, and I have no other word for this, but just giving dumb blonde at this point. She's just giving dumb blonde at this point. And I don't know if this is on purpose or if she's really just doing, I legitimately don't know. And some of her statements, again, about politics and arts, and I'm just trying to create, and I don't think about politics. There are people who are sitting there who are working with her who are just like, you gotta be kidding me. You can't even call yourself a true artiste at this point. If you're saying that you don't pay attention, I don't like politics. I consider myself a creative. I don't like keeping up with politics. I don't like keeping up with any of that. But I make statements about it in my books. I make statements about it in my books all the time. My entire dystopian series is making a statement about how I see the world. Then she makes these statements on the helm. We're in Valentine's Day season, so everybody's dropping their Valentine's Day brand. And she decides that she's going to come out with a lingerie brand. Guys, I went to the lingerie brand is Siren. I found out about this on TikTok. I was scrolling through TikTok and someone was laughing and they said, imagine Sydney Sweeney, who is very much not liked by the women population right now, coming out with a lingerie brand for women. And they're like, who is going to buy this? Because her audience that she appeals to is men. So then they were talking about how, well, I guess men are going to buy it for the women for Valentine's Day. And then they said, if my man bought me, I think it was a podcast. They said, if my man bought me Siren, which is Sydney Sweeney's lingerie brand, lingerie for Valentine's Day, I'd break up with him. Because clearly he doesn't know me. And I was like, yes. But I've actually went to her Instagram. I looked up this lingerie. I looked up the launch of it. It is the most basic. It really is, guys. It's not giving anything special. It's not giving whatever you guys thought it was giving. It's giving nothing. It's giving literally nothing. And the fact that she's still trying to come and appeal to us, even though every single time she opens her mouth, she just digs her grave in deeper. And it still makes me mad that she still has a platform to speak on. I have the worst headache. It makes me mad that she still has a platform to speak on any of that. I don't want to spend any more time on this. I'm gonna let it go. Let's get into things that I've done, things that I've covered, things that I've watched. Have I finished a book? No. Am I close to finishing a book though? Yes. I am reading The Other Gilmore Girl right now by Kelly Bishop. At first, I think I said this last time. At first, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it's really good. We got to the part where she's just finished with Gilmore Girls, which was honestly all I really wanted to hear. And I wish that I got more about that than we did in the book, but it's still pretty good. I'm about 80% done with that book. About have an hour and a half left in it. So I'm pretty excited. That definitely will be done by this weekend. I am still working on the Book of Magic. I got more pages done than last time, but I am still working on it. I have really just been recovering from my medication. It's still messing with me really bad. I've been sleeping a lot and I've been really exhausted. I've been like right now I have a banging headache. So I just haven't had as much time, but I've been working on it. I did finish my rewatch of Private Practice. It was good. The ending was nice and sweet. I kind of wonder, like, Grey's Anatomy has been going on for such a long time now. I wonder what it will look like when it ends. Private Practice ended in a really sweet way, and it ended in some unexpected surprises. Naomi getting pregnant with Sam's baby was interesting, only because that plot felt very rushed. I really wish that we got more of that in this season and it wasn't just kind of a throwaway thing. Although I do love that they found their way back to each other in the end. I don't like second chance romances, but I do love that for them. I love that they found each other back in the end. I love that. I love seeing Addison kind of be loved and appreciated for who she was and kind of be in a really unproblematic marriage. I loved the Charlotte having a baby thing. That was really funny. I didn't really love the perspective thing, that they were just kind of doing one thing in perspective, but I imagine that happened for budgeting reasons. That's a little bit kind of like Scrubs. When Scrubs was in his last season, they had budgeting constraints, so they had to work. Everybody couldn't be in the same episodes all the same time. Speaking of, I heard a rumor that Scrubs is coming back. I'm gonna need you guys to confirm or deny this rumor, but watching that was great. I also watched something for you guys. I did. You'll be so proud of me. I watched the new show. I didn't just watch reruns all weekend. Aren't we so happy for me? You don't have to be. I'm happy for myself. I'm looking for my notes app. I watched Beyond the Villa because since I have Peacock right now, I might as well watch Love Island Beyond the Villa and buckle in. I got notes. I'm trying to decide. Should I give you this first? No. We'll wait for this. We'll get into the Traitors. All right, Unbothered fam, let's talk taxes for a second because I am very particular about one thing. I like to get my taxes done early and out of the way so I can be stress-free for the rest of the year. No last-minute panic, no scrambling, no vibes being ruined. That's why I want to put my Unbothered fans onto SSB Legacy Tax Services, LLC. Samantha is a small business tax professional whose whole focus is getting you the maximum refund while making the process clear and easy. She also offers cash advances up to $7,500, $75 referral bonuses, and actually takes the time to educate you so you know what's happening with your money. And because we are all unbothered together, I'm going to give you an in. If you text Unbothered to 586-345-1055, you will receive $50 off your tax prep fees. Early, easy, stress-free, just how we like it. Okay. I got to watching the Traitors late, and so spoilers came to me, and that has affected me. So you can tell why I stopped. But this episode, it's the aftermath, and we're in the turret. We see Candace and Rob kind of going at it. And I love Candace holding her own. I love Candace going toe to toe with him. And I love Candace like standing up for her shit. I think I have so many opinions about this. I'm gonna keep going. And Rob thinking that Candace needs him was just such a frustrating thing to me. She doesn't need you. She makes fucking way more money than you. Like she's better than you. Sorry. But they got to choose if they wanted to murder someone or ask someone to join them. And honestly, I want to say, people are going to comment on Candace's gameplay. Candace's gameplay was really smart. And they got rid of Colton. And the best news that I got from watching this episode is Colton gets off my screen. Not only does Colton get off my screen, but he doesn't even get like a moment. He just gets murdered. And I freaking loved it. Like, goodbye. Bye-bye. Have fun. Catch you next time. That made me immensely happy. One of the best moments in a turret was Rob says that he doesn't want to vote off any more traitors, and Candace says, well, don't piss me off then. This is where it just starts to get really chaotic for me. Rob says a statement that he doesn't. I feel so sick. Oh my god, my head is burning. Like I am on fire. Can't even like concentrate right now. I'm just gonna take it slow, and I'm gonna try to make it through the rest of this because I really want to get this out to you guys. I'm sorry that I'm not feeling good. I also feel really bad because I didn't give you guys a new episode. I don't know if you can like see it in my eyes right now. I'm really sorry because I didn't give you guys a new episode on Monday. I did a rerun, and this means so much to me, and I'm going to keep going. It frustrated me because Rob said that he is just playing a game and it's not personal, and personally he wanted Lisa to be there, but it didn't make sense. But then when they bring up Colton's name, he goes, well, I don't want him to leave because he's my best friend in this game. And I wrote this, and it's really important. It really makes me, oh my god, that hurts so bad. It really makes me question Rob and his character and his integrity if his best friend is someone like Colton. And this is the same thing that happened with Love Island when Rob was on Love Island. He befriended someone who was a pathological liar, who dogged a girl, and he like geeked it up and everything like that. And he played his feelings to make him look innocent when he really did a lot to harm people. And who you associate with says a lot about you. And there are times, like this is something that's coming up in the Epstein files right now, and association. Who you associate says a lot about you. And that sometimes you don't know, and that's fair and that's true. But sometimes you do. And what says the most to me about Rob's character is that out of everybody in this game, he backs someone who is a stalker, who is racist, who is sexist, and Rob thinks that that's an okay person to back and to be a part of. And that's just wild to me. So they leave you kind of guessing, and Rob said he took her queen, and I was wondering who's going to come out. So we're in breakfast in the morning. Dorinda walks in, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess the queen must have been Lisa because Dorinda is still here. And I love Eric's glasses, but more coming from Candace, and more frustrates me because she just like parrots whatever Rob says. She has like no original thought of her own 9 times out of 10. And Rob has done a really good job of making people trust him. But what's frustrating is he hasn't really. His good job of making people trust him is he's a white male. That's why people trust him. So we're waiting. It's between Steven, Rob, Colton, and Natalie. We all know that Rob's not dying. So then we get Colton gone. And let me tell you how there is nothing better than getting Colton off the show. And I would be so much more excited if I had the energy. I would be jumping through the moon. I'm so fucking excited. I love that that man is off this TV. I hope that we never give that man another second, but there's going to be a reunion. And I'll probably cover the reunion. Because that's the tea that I need, because I'm ready for people to check people. I just can't do this anymore. Rob thinks that he's so smart and everything, and it's just whatever. I'm just glad Colton's gone. Alan comes out in his outfit, and his outfit is amazing, and I love it. But there's Robbing versus Candace thing going on, and I think what's frustrating is that without any evidence contrary, or without I think what's frustrating is that without any evidence at all, they just believe Rob. Rob could say the sky is green and they would believe it. And it just makes me mad. We get to the mission, and this is the stupidest mission ever. I hate this mission. To me, all of the other missions have been fun and cool and like interesting. This one was, I guess, just silly and meant to be lighthearted, but it was just not it for me. And at this point is when I started to realize I can't watch the show anymore. I can't do it, guys. I know that I might lose viewers, and that's so important to me. I'm not going to pretend like having my podcast be a thing isn't important to me. I'm my eyes are getting smaller and smaller as I continue to do this, and I'm still doing this, which clearly means that I'm into this. But also at the same time, I can't do this. I can't watch a show that votes off all the Black people, that treats women poorly, that praises a white man for doing absolutely nothing. I don't want to do that in my life. I don't want to do that on my podcast. I don't want to do it in TV. It's just not my vibe. Maybe I don't watch enough reality TV show anymore, these game show type things, and I have zero interest at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I have zero interest in watching any of this and dealing with any of this and participating with any of this. I want to stand as the woman that I am. I want to stand for the morals that I have, and I want to stand true. I do not accept the berating of Black women. I do not accept a world where Black women are less trustworthy just because they're Black women and white men are more trustworthy because they're white men. I don't want to watch a show where we treat people of color terribly because they're people of color, where allegiances or alliances betray. I just I don't want to watch a show that shows me what America really thinks about me. You know, I got that a lot when last year when the election happened, and there's a video of me on TikTok just bawling my eyes out because people considered me a DEI hire. I don't need to watch a show to remind me what people think of me as a Black woman. I know. I see it every day. I see it when I go to work and I have to deal with customers who make it obvious that they would prefer not to have me, who treat me as if I'm not smart as, if I'm not as good as, or I don't know as much as, without having any understanding. Some treat me disrespectfully. I get that enough in my real life. I get that enough in being a content creator, of being an author, all of those things. I don't need to watch a show to remind me where my place is in this world and how you guys feel about me in this world. I just don't. I don't need a show to remind me of that. And I'm not going to watch a show that depicts that. And when Colton got called out for his behavior that defended him, defended a known stalker, and I learned about everything that he did, it's crazy and insane. And the fact that after he did all that, and he admitted to it, after he did all that and admitted to it, he gets another TV show and another TV show, and he's let on. I don't want to do that anymore, guys. I don't want to support that anymore. So I'm not going to. I will watch the reunion because I want to end this with you guys, but I'm not going to cover another show. I'm not going to mess with my mental health anymore. It's not worth it. I'm staying up till midnight, 1 a.m., doing all of this for a show that if I was on it, they wouldn't even care about me. They'd vote me off immediately for no reason. They just would. So this is going to be the last time. I'm closing the book on the Traitors. There's a lot of different things that have my attention that I want to talk about this month. There's a lot of shows and TV shows and movies that I want to spend my time talking about. Beyond the Villa, I am not going to get to finish I'm not going to get to talk about that right now. I really need to take some time for my mental health. I'm clearly fading on this thing, but I owed you all to finish this episode because I'm so freaking appreciative of every single person, whether it's at my goal or not. Every single person that downloads this podcast and listens and shares and everything like that, you all mean so freaking much to me. You are supporting my dream, and I will do whatever I can to show you all how appreciative I am of that. And that even means honoring myself. So next week, we're going to cover Beyond the Villa. And then I think the week after, we're going to do Emily in Paris. I know that Bridgerton is out. I want to do Bridgerton in its entirety. So we'll also be covering Bridgerton in its entirety. And then we'll see what comes up. I do really want to cover His and Hers. I do also want to honor some Black voices this Black History Month. So we'll see what comes up and we'll see what we get to enjoy. We don't have to consume negative media. We don't. We get to choose. And so I'm making a choice. I don't want to consume media that's not good for me. That's not good for America right now. So thank you all for bearing with me and listening, and I will see you next time. Pure Tifa Podcast.